time for the first ever Q&A on this channel. And I got this question the other day and I really liked it. So the question was, ha ha ha. Maybe one day you can give another injury prevention video, giving us an update on what you do to prevent injury, how you condition for tricking, and what the worst injury is, and basically how you overcame it. Thanks for the question, man. It was a really, really good one. Okay, so first I'll just tell you guys what I do to prevent injuries for myself, and then I'll get into the worst injury that I believe I had and how I overcame it. So the first thing I do is try to keep a healthy, consistent diet. I mainly try to stay on a vegan diet as much as possible. Now, I don't consider myself vegan because there are days where I feel like having some cheese or something. I do try to stay away from a lot of processed foods, eating out a lot, stuff like that. So the second thing that I do to prevent injury is to make sure that I am stretching after every single tricking session. The third thing that I do, and I actually kind of recently started to do this, is foam roll. I always foam roll during warm up before I start tricking and stuff. I've seen a good amount of results with that. I'm actually a lot less sore. I don't feel really stiff and tight in any spots when I'm kicking. I'm actually pretty like smooth, even when I trick like 5 days in a row. Now the fourth thing I do, this is one of the most important things, condition. I try to work out 6 times a week. I'm pretty consistent with it, but like, because I am trying to upload so much right now, it's been a little bit difficult. That honestly has helped me get a lot stronger, prevent a lot more injury. Just like joint pains, I don't really get those much anymore because of working out, but that's just my personal experience. You might have experienced something else different. And the last and final thing, that is the most important thing to preventing injury, and that is taking your time with progression. That is something that has helped me so much. It's just taking my time, working progression slowly, and not moving on until I actually know for sure that I have that trick down at that moment. Because every single time I try to rush getting a skill, I always get injured. Every single time, without a doubt. That's actually what I'm gonna be talking about next. The worst injury I ever went through in tricking. So I'm just gonna give you the whole like story, and hopefully I don't ramble too much. I'll try to keep it short, simple, and to the point. So basically I worked at a tumbling and cheer gym. We started to do a level 5 team. I decided to do it. It was my first time ever trying out cheerleading. I've never done it before, but I wanted to give it a go because it looked fun. And it actually was a lot of fun. It was super fun doing it. So what happened was we were practicing basket tosses, which basically is where we like throw a girl in the air. She was learning a skill where she kicked her leg and spun twice, and then we caught her. And what happened was she kicked, spun 1.5, and opened, and straight to my face, like straight to my face. I actually don't remember it happening, but then again, I also don't remember the next 8 hours of my life after that. It was weird. It was like I had like short-term memory loss. I kept forgetting what was happening like every like 5 seconds. So basically what happened was I got a concussion. Everything's fine now, but yeah, in the moment it was really, really scary. And what kind of happened though is it totally psyched me out in my tricking. I actually started to get really, really bad mental blocks. I couldn't throw dubs at all. Like I had all my fundamental skills pretty solid, but I just couldn't throw doubles, and it was like it broke me down so bad. I would like literally be in my room at night just crying. Everything was just going exactly how I wanted to, super good, and then all of a sudden it was just like bam. Doubles were like the thing that I loved the most doing, and I wanted them, and I lost them. But I kept training, I kept practicing, I kept trying to push through it, and it was really, really tough, guys. And I had no idea what to do, but something just kept telling me to push through, and get past it, and eventually I did. And now I'm here, honestly, now I'm here making videos for you guys, pumped up more than ever. But yeah, it was a hard moment to overcome. If you guys had anything similar going on, I would love for you guys to share it, because it would definitely motivate a lot of people right now that are going through the same problems that we have went through and overcame as well. We're all a team here, guys, so if anyone is struggling through anything, just reach out, let us know. We're here to help. Like if other people aren't, I for sure am. I'm here to help because I know how hard it is going through a super bad injury or a super bad time in your life. And you know, I just want us all to be that community that can get together and kind of help each other out. So anyways, yeah, that's basically it for today's Q&A. If you guys have any questions for me, go ahead, leave them down below. I'll be taking questions off of YouTube and Instagram, I guess. Real quick before I go, I do want to give a shout out to everybody who's being super involved into the community right now. You guys are awesome. You guys are like the foundation of Upraiz tricking, and thank you so much for being a part of it as much as you are. You guys are the true homies, like for real. All right, now for real, I'm coming.
What we do here is go back.
All right, so yesterday we went and we determined what side tricker we were, if we were right or left. And we went through the stances, front side, back side, mainly. We went over what your target is and the 3 common takeoffs and how those takeoffs can be used from a front side and a backside stance. And we also did a little bit of stretching and foam rolling as well. There's 2 new things that we're gonna be learning today. It's gonna be a spin takeoff, and the next thing is going to be some flipping drills that I use just to get your legs kind of warmed up into the movements that you're gonna be doing throughout this entire curriculum. Now what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be using what we learned yesterday and basically doing that for a warm up today, okay? So if you remember, the first things we started with was our backside or front side pops, either one. I'll start with backside first. So remember, my target is in front. This is my backside going that way because that is the direction in which I twist. I always do 10, just warm up. Make sure you're looking at your target too when you do this. All right, and then we're gonna move to the other side, to the front side now because my front is facing the direction that I twist. I feel like I'm like super white on here right now. Oh, I'm about to change this real quick. All right, and then from there we're gonna do a backside cheat. Remember, a cheat for a left tricker is always gonna be your left leg. Boom. So those are the 2 cheats. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a few of these, just kind of get my leg warmed up, kind of turning a little bit to my left as I bring it up. Make sure you're pointing your toes as well when you do this. So we're gonna go ahead and hit up the other side. So this one, instead of like turning out to the front this way towards your right, you want to turn the way you twist. So when I lift this leg up, I'll kind of go like this a little bit, bringing it up into the side. You can't really see it because I'm turning my body, but that's kind of how you want to work on it. All right, and then next would be the swing. So remember, a swing for a left side tricker, so is going to be your right leg, no matter where you're at. So for backside swing, be here. Front side swing will be here. Remember, on a swing, you can eagle, or you can just bring it up like a cheat. Same thing for a cheat though. You can eagle on a cheat and bring the knee up, or just leave it how it is. So we're gonna start with the backside swing, starting here, looking forward at our target, arms back, up. I recommend getting comfortable both ways, just kind of bringing it up like this and working on your eagle. So we didn't really touch up on eagle too much yesterday, but eagle is basically when your arms and your leg is back and they swing up on sync. So now we're gonna do some front side swings, again, because my front is here. So we're gonna go here, eagle, boom, like that. And make sure you're keeping your eyes on the target. So my target obviously is the camera today. All right, so now we're gonna be doing spin takeoffs, okay? So spin takeoffs are exactly the same as a normal takeoffs. The only thing is you're adding a 180 turn into the takeoff, okay? So pretty simple. Probably the most awkward one is a pop. So we're gonna start with front side pop. So to do this spin, you wanna start in a backside stance, okay? So we're gonna start in backside stance. We're gonna step over to our front side pop and then jump. So all together it looks like this, step, pop, bam. And again, do this about like 10 times. Make sure you're focusing on your target when you do so. Kind of get your arms up a little bit. You can kind of, if you feel like twisting too, you can always twist into it. But in the beginning, if you're super new, I just recommend jumping up. Okay, so now we're gonna do it the opposite way to a backside. So we're gonna be here and front side, step over, together, pop. It doesn't have to be exactly this way. If you wanted to, you can also just kind of like bound into it, hop into it, however you want to get into it. All right, so now we're gonna move on to a spin cheat takeoff. So we'll start with a backside cheat because it's the most common one. So we're gonna be starting in a front side stance facing this way. You're gonna step, turn with that leg, and then boom, backside cheat right there, okay? So again, here, step, cheat. If you want to, like I said, you can also kind of work on jumping with it. It's up to you. So here, cheat, just make sure you're spotting your target. And moving on, the next one's gonna be a front side cheat. This one is a little bit more awkward, but the more you practice it, the more you start to understand it and it gets a little bit easier. So we're gonna be starting in a backside stance, looking forward at our target. Now our right leg, if you're a left tricker, your right leg. If you're a right tricker, it's gonna be your left leg. We're gonna step here, knee up, boom. Or you can kind of like hop, bring the knee up, or you can even step out more and bring the knee up. It's totally up to you. Keep in mind though, if you do step out more, it'll create more distance and less height for whatever trick you're doing it into, unless you have like crazy power. We'll do this a few more times. Notice how I'm spotting the target every single time. Trying to focus on pointing my toes too. Boom. All right, and the last one obviously is gonna be the swing takeoff. So we'll start with a front side swing since it is the easiest. So we're gonna start in a backside stance, again, looking forward. This front leg is going to step out to the front side. Bring that knee up, just like that, okay? So that's all it is to it. Here, boom. You can eagle, or you can kind of just turn, whatever you want to do. That all depends on like what trick you're going to be doing out of this takeoff. So moving along, now we're going to be doing a backside swing. Looking forward at your target, starting in a front side stance. Same leg is going to step out this way, and then you're going to swing up from there. So here, boom, boom. And then we can also swing a leg up straight if you want. Okay, so those are your spin takeoffs, and now we're gonna go ahead and jump into these little drills that I like to do in the beginning that kind of get you used to what your legs are gonna feel when you start flipping in this curriculum. Now the first thing I do, I call it just a master step. It's not really anything crazy. If you're twisting to your left, you're gonna be starting with your right leg in front, like this, kind of almost in a lunging position. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring this back leg, your left leg, through and around. So you're just gonna kind of go like this. Basically it, nothing really crazy. For those of you that are like me and have a really hard time warming up, this is something that's really good to use along with the spin takeoffs and the regular takeoffs. Now moving on, we're going to be doing a swipe step. You're going to be starting with your opposite leg in front, and all you're going to do is just kind of swing this leg around and jump like that. Now on these ones, you don't have to spot your target. I actually want you to look at the ground when you practice these, just because they are trying to relate to flips as much as possible. And when you do flips, you want to kind of spot the ground as you're coming out of them. Okay, so now that we've done those from the front side, we're going to do them from a back side, which creates a little bit more rotation since we're not actually flipping over. And this might be a little bit more difficult for you guys, but you guys can pivot a little bit and cheat it if you need to, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is that scoot step, or the master step again. Same leg in front, so you're going to have your right leg in front, just like as if you're doing a regular one. This leg is going to kind of just come around to the side, and you're just going to jump around. So it's going to go. So see how I didn't even really complete it myself? It's okay in the beginning. Remember, it's just to get your legs kind of warmed up and used to like that tangling feeling that you're gonna feel when you do the flips. This right here, boom. Now I kind of eagle on these. You don't have to, but I recommend you kind of get used to it just because you can use this drill by itself to get into different moves. So now obviously that we did that master step backside, we're gonna be doing the swipe step backside. The opposite leg in front now. This leg's gonna kick all the way around. And you're just gonna kind of jump off your toes and kind of land. And you can also, if it's getting a little bit difficult, you can kind of pivot this foot out to the side and then do it from there, starting off, just until you're used to it. Another thing too, when you guys are doing these drills and you guys are doing your spin takeoffs and regular takeoffs, always try to focus on pointing your toes and pushing off your toes and landing on your toes as best you can. The more you start to develop those habits in the beginning, the easier it's gonna make it to do basically everything later on. So on the curriculum, that would be it for day 2. If it doesn't take up an hour, just try to do as much as you can and try to make it take up an hour, unless it is that you're practicing different things, and just use that for a warm up and try to move on to your new stuff. That's it for day 2. See you guys day 3. I'm actually gonna work on some stuff by myself real quick because I gotta get prepared to make you guys a tutorial in a little bit. And I haven't done these combos for a minute, so I'm gonna practice them. So